What is happening to Bitcoin at the moment, guys? I will try to explain. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in this beautiful world, whenever you're watching this video. Welcome to the Bitcoin family channel. For the newcomers, my name is Didi. Today I have 3 news items, 5 epic charts, and 1 inspirational quote. Let's jump into the news first now. Before I start to jump into Bitcoin, what is happening to Thailand? It's been raining for over a week now. A lot of rainy days. It's still like raining a little bit now, so please change the weather. Please give me more sun. I want to do beach walks again, guys. Now it's time to jump into the first news item, guys. The $500 billion MasterCard. They just announced that they will acquire Zero Hedge, which is a $2 billion buy of a Bitcoin infrastructure company. So MasterCard, one of the biggest credit cards out there, acquiring one of the bigger Bitcoin infrastructure companies for $2 billion. So yes, also all the cards, credit card companies, they will all jump into this Bitcoin gold rush as they understand the real fundamentals and power of Bitcoin. We need to be aware of that. We need to make Bitcoin still for the people. You should be buying a shitload of Bitcoins because you understand that there is a reason why they are buying. I told you in yesterday's video, a couple of reels, the governments and all those centralized entities will create fear. They will create dumps like the dump that you just saw to 107K, freak you out. So you sell your Bitcoins, they will scoop up all those Bitcoins because they want the transfer of wealth, not from the normal people to the normal people, but from the normal people to the government. Please understand that. So MasterCard as well, joining that Bitcoin game massively, guys. Let's jump into the second news item. The second news item is of course about the Fed, the Federal Reserve of America. They just cut the interest rates by 0.25 and they said from the 1st of December we will stop the quantitative tightening. So they will stop pushing the dollar down. They want to have more dollars, they want to print more money. Everything that they just announced is really positive. So it's very strange that the Bitcoin price is still going down while all the news is very positive. This reeks to me like manipulation, and that's what I've been telling you the whole bull market. These liquidation levels are even more important than whatever news that you see or whatever positive or negative news it is. Every time we are hunting for those liquidation levels, and I will show you next in the charts which liquidation levels we will hunt for next, so you already know what price will be next. It's not always about the news, it's about TA, and the TA is showing us the way at the moment. Every time again and again there were a massive liquidation heat map showing us, hey, around 107, 108K, billions of dollars will be liquidated. And where did we go? Again to the level. Do you really think that Trump has to do something about it or any news agency? No, it's all TA, it's traders. Because please understand that the biggest amount of Bitcoins is still in our hands, not in institutional investors' hands. That's about 7%. But I will show you this as well in a beautiful graph. So please, let's jump now into the charts to show you exactly what I can see that's going to happen next for Bitcoin. One more news item about the BIP 444 attack, which means there is a certain amount of Bitcoiners, core developers, that want to soft fork the Bitcoin blockchain. And there is a big discussion going on now between yes or no, let's do this or don't do this. To simplify it, it's all about which kind of data should be allowed to be added to the blocks. You know, because of the inscriptions and all of the possibilities the Bitcoin blockchain gave now, there is a discussion, should we keep allowing this or shouldn't we keep allowing it? Maybe we should like limit it to certain things. It's all about CSAM, CSCAM. I'm going to write an article about that and push that live at the VIP gold members and all the silver and bronze gold members for the whole community so that they understand what is going on. Don't be afraid. I don't see anything dangerous happening at the moment because I still believe believe Bitcoin will stay Bitcoin the way it is. I don't even believe that the minority that wants to change it has a possibility to change it, because it's too dangerous in my opinion. Because if you are going to change something that perfectly has been working for the last like 15 years, then you can break something as well. And I don't think that they want to break the best robust system in the world. But there is a little discussion going on. Just read about it if you are into technical analysis. There's also a video about it, a really cool one by the Bitcoin historian. He's discussing this topic with 3 other people. Check that video as well, because there's a lot of interesting information in that one. But please don't freak out, don't be afraid. There's nothing going to happen to Bitcoin. It is just a little tiny discussion that people have inside the Bitcoin community. So please do not freak out about this. Now let's jump really into the charts, guys. Bam. The first chart for today, guys. Yes, bull market vibes still. The first chart is a 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart. Not doing what I expected. Look, I wanted to see this move up. The move is completely in the other direction, down. So I'm going to delete now this move that I thought it would make. Bam, we broke that channel. Because we are breaking it, we found the support level there. We broke that support level. The next support level is around 104,405. But if you check the previous support, could also be this area where we are exactly now, because there was a latest dump as well exactly to this level. So please be aware, it is a very important area of support. If we break these support levels, guys, that is a very important level we should hold. If we break 1.7, all 104 to 1.7, that area, then we will fall back to below 100K. The next support is 97,000 US dollars. So please be aware of that. That this is a very important support level that we should be holding if we look at the 4-hour. Also, when you look at the 5-day chart on the Gaussian channel, check it over here. The Gaussian channel top is 108,000. We should stay above it. This candle is going to close in 1 day and 21 hours. After Halloween, this candle is going to be closing. If we want to be a happy Halloween, it needs to close above 109,000 US dollars. So 109,585 is the top of the Gaussian channel. This candle needs to close exactly above that to be positive. If we again get into this Gaussian channel, please be prepared for the mid area, 99,000 US dollars. We could even wick to that area. Maybe I shouldn't have put that blue line starting there at the mid of that area. Maybe that's why Bitcoin is doing it. Maybe it's following my lines. Wait, I will put it over there now, okay? Just to be very clear, I don't want Bitcoin to go to below 100K, because that is ultimate fear. That's like going to be massive fear in the market, and we don't need it at the moment because all the news is positive, as you just saw. Now let's jump into a couple of other very interesting charts, guys. Sorry if my face was not in the right place. I will pay attention to this in the next part of the video. Now here, first chart, liquidation heat map. On this liquidation map, we can see if the price now reverses to 112,000 US dollar, more than $4 billion worth of Bitcoin will be liquidated. So we covered all these liquidations there, 110 to 1.7 even. That is all liquidated already. Now the liquidations are in the upside. So if we go up with the price, more than $3 billion, around $4 billion will be liquidated. That's what I mean when we are hunting the liquidation levels. These are all the bearish news charts, guys. Now, the bearish news is that if we would close October with like minus 3%, the previous time that we closed in October with minus 3%, November was not that bullish. Even November was a minus 36%. This was 2018. Please understand, this was the bear market. We are, in my opinion, not in the bear market yet. So for me, this is not going to happen. Even if we look at 2014, we had a minus 13%. November was still plus 13%. Normally, November is the most bullish month out there in the Bitcoin bulls. Look, an average almost 50% moves in November. So let's see how this one is going to close in one more day. Like it's going to be like 24 hours for most of us. And then let's see if it's like negative or positive. If it is negative, don't freak out directly, because this one was in a bear market. If we are in a bear market and we had the bull market top, yes, then November will be bearish as well. For me, the charts are not showing that yet, so not being too negative, but this is just showing you what we find in the charts. Then we have this one. This one is also a bearish chart. I'm going to share the bearish news first, then the bullish news, guys. This one I found on the Twitter of, let me find it out here, Crypto Bullet One. Of course, this is the MVRV score. We can find it all over the place, but I just like to do shout outs to these channels as well because they share a lot of information. Now, the blow off top over here was exactly when the MVRV went above the 9. Here, we only went to 7. So if we would draw a trend line from the top to this top, then the major resistance should be around 3, or even here at 2.5. And that is exactly where the major resistance is. So if this trend line will stay intact, then yes, this could already be the bull market top area that we just have visited. And then the MVRV was again right, and this is going to crash to 0 again. That will be the bear market, and we will retest the next time again around maybe the level of 2 only if this line is continued. If we would break this, then expect an epic move. Then expect a move to above my target of 160,000 US dollar. So let's see how this will play out, but let's keep an eye on that. If that again is true what the charts are showing us, this would be bearish. This is not a bearish chart, but this chart is just showing you that this cycle could be different, because if you calculate the certain amount of days from the B wave, so this is the top, then we come down with, and then we make A, and then we go into B wave. From that moment of the B wave, so we can see here, to the next cycle peak, took over there 1279 days. Again here, 2017, that B wave, to the next stop, took in total 1279 days, 42 bars, 2 times exactly the same. Now then 2021 top B wave, from there 1278 days has already passed. So one more day and we should have seen the bull market top. So for me, this is something that shows us that the cycle is a little bit different. It is a little bit different. On the other hand, we didn't see this massive euphoria yet. We didn't see this run. Like normally we have this triangle, that green circle, and then that orange one. Triangle, green circle, orange one. We had the triangle, we had that around that line, and we had that green circle, but now we are missing this orange run. So is this going to take a little bit longer, extended bull market before we get that run? That is now the big question. Normally we should be starting already. Normally this should already be a run. So what is holding us? Do we need to be afraid of what is happening at the moment? Do you need to freak out? No, never freak out. We have seen multiple periods in Bitcoin that we didn't make a plus 5% move in a day. At the moment, we are at 173 days. Be aware, this is the 28th of October, so by now, this is 176 days that we didn't see a 5% move. Now, if we look back in history, here, it took 141 days that we didn't see a 5% move. If we take a year later, from December 2016, a year later, the return was 1,566%. So yes, we went sideways, boring for a very long time, but still, if we zoom out and we look to the bigger picture, almost 1,600% return. November 20, 2018, 119 days, big move, sideways, as we didn't make a move of more than 5%. A year later, it was almost 90% up. Now 2016, May, 113 days, no big move. A year later, we were up 333%. So we keep continuing like this. 2015, it's like 190%, 1,500%, 8,000%. So please understand that even here in 2022, 87 days, we had a minus move. That's the only negative move. And 2020, 85 days, we had 400% up. It is not a problem that we have been going sideways, which is still volatile, but sideways, not more than 5% up or down in a daily candle. It's not meaning that the bull market is over. A year later, we can still be up massively, as you can see over here. And that would mean that that bull market will be extended indeed into 2026. I still don't see this. I still want to see a very bullish November and see maybe a top over there towards the end, beginning of December, and then see a bear market. Then again, we had a bigger than 5% move in a normal amount of days. But let's see what's going to happen. It's a very, very excited time in this market. And I told you already last time when we were at 120,000, 124, it's never bad to take profit. You never get poor by taking profit. I guide you through this market already since the bear market bottom, and I've been telling you to take some profits. We bought at 16K, 17K, 18K, 20K. You should be selling at 110, 150, 120, 130, 140, 150. Simple as that. Never be afraid to take some profits. Now, let's zoom out. Let's take a look at that bigger picture. This is the bigger picture. If we now look at the world, then Tether, which is a very important company in the crypto industry, USDT, is now the 17th biggest holder of US treasuries. Please understand this. Japan is the biggest. Then we have the United Kingdom. Then we have China. Then we have the Cayman Islands, Belgium, Luxembourg, France, Canada, Ireland, Switzerland, Taiwan, Singapore, Hong Kong, India, Norway, Brazil, and then Tether. Tether holds more US Treasury than South Korea, Saudi Arabia, United Arabs, Germany. Tether is becoming a very important company. This is, in my opinion, also the United States stablecoin, USDT. So the more they hold of the US Treasuries, I think the more successful they will be, and thus also the crypto market will be in the United States. That's just how politics work. Then there is a thing that you really need to understand. At the moment, people are freaking out about how many Bitcoins MicroStrategies go buying, how many Bitcoins BlackRock is buying, how many Bitcoins countries, governments are buying, pension funds are buying. Stop fucking freaking out. This is the chart of who owns Bitcoin in 2025. If we look at retail, retail is you, me, your aunt, your butcher, the dog, whatever you can think of. That's 71% of the Bitcoins. ETFs, like BlackRock, only 7%. To be mined, still 5.2%. Satoshi Nakamoto, 5.2%. Public companies, 4.4%. Countries and governments, 2.4%. Private companies, 2.03%. DeFi, 1.2%. Bitcoin mining companies, only 0.5%. Stop freaking out. Stop making all those companies like MicroStrategy, like BlackRock, like the government, stop making them important. They don't mean anything in the Bitcoin industry where 71% is held by you and me. We should keep it above that 70%. It's power to the people, not power to the governments. They have been fucking up your life for a very long time. This gold of the 21st century, this powerful, peaceful, anarchistic tool, Bitcoin, we should keep it to ourselves, not give it to those that already destroy your purchasing power, that already destroy your freedom. They should not be holding Bitcoin. You should be holding Bitcoin. You should start to withdraw your fucking bank account, sell your fucking house, and go all into Bitcoin. That's what I'm saying, nothing else. That's how we win the peaceful revolution. And why? Because very simple reasons. These are the reasons. Bitcoin has no founder. We don't know who the founder is. Bitcoin has no ruling foundation. Bitcoin has no pre-mine. Bitcoin has no insiders. Bitcoin has no initial investors, has no office, has no website, has no paid executive team, has no marketing team, has no paid developer team, has no starting price, has no human controlling it. It is the fairest money on earth that also can count as a digital gold of the 21st century. That's why you should hold Bitcoin, not just to make a little bit profit, because you store your capital in something that is way more safe than the fiat shitcoins that are being printed out of thin air. You don't want to be in something that's being printed and held by the government as much as they want. That's creating inflation and will make you lose a lot of purchasing power. That were the charts. Let's jump into the next part now, guys. Use my special link down below here to sign up to Bybit and claim your amazing bonus up to 30,000 US dollar. You will receive $30 for just signing up. Use my link down below and click it now. I hope you really enjoyed those charts. Short term, a lot of volatility, guys. Amazing times for traders. Traders are making shitloads of Bitcoins at the moment. Why? Because they love that volatile market. This is longing and shorting. At the same time, you can make a lot of profits. Our algorithm is doing amazing in these times. It's making a lot of profit. The spot algorithm is making a lot of profit. You can see at the moment, I think I've been running it now for 3 months, the spot algorithm. This one is now up 15%. This is just buying spot market, just buying altcoins, selling altcoins. And the inverse perpetual is now running for almost 19 months, and which is now almost at 50% profit. So check those two stats over there, guys. You can see the algorithm is performing pretty well in these times. If you don't have the time to trade for yourself, you should be using one of these algorithms to trade for you, guys. Now, the rest, long term, just zoom out. I will keep repeating it. If you're not a trader, you're an investor. If you're an investor, you don't give a fuck about the short-term volatility. You only zoom out. You look at the bigger picture. Where will Bitcoin be in 4 years? Where will Bitcoin be in 8 years? That is the only target that you're looking at. And in 4 years, Bitcoin is going to be around a few $100,000 US dollar per Bitcoin. And in 8 years, Bitcoin is probably going to be around $1 million per Bitcoin. And in 12 years or 16 years, Bitcoin is maybe even going to be around $10 million per Bitcoin. So if you're an investor, you do understand that, and you start to stack your sets instead of dollars or euros into your pension fund. If countries, pension funds, governments, and huge corporations start to build a Bitcoin strategic reserve, which is kind of the same as your pension fund, why are you still saving in euros and dollars? If you see that the biggest of the biggest start to use Bitcoin for this, you should be starting to use Bitcoin for this as well. That were the charts. Let's quickly jump into the inspirational quote now. The inspirational quote for today, guys: life is like riding a bicycle. If you stop moving forward, you lose balance and you will fall. Simple as that. In a bicycle, you need to keep moving forward. If you stop pedaling, you will fall. That's the same with life. If you just stop living life, you will fall. You need to keep moving forward. You need to keep improving your skills. You need to keep improving whatever quality that it is that you want to improve in life. You need to be discovering new things all the time. Why? Because that means you're moving. The moment you're moving, you will succeed. You will feel happy. You will feel energetic. You will feel all those feelings that you feel when you're completely happy. For example, when you're stuck in your job and you go for a 2-week holiday, that's the 2 weeks that you're moving. You're moving your ass out of the normal hamster wheel into this new situation, new country, new environment, new food, new tastes, new friends, new experiences. That is what gives you the energy. That is what builds you up in those 2 weeks. That's why after those 2 weeks of holiday, you feel energized again to go back into your hamster wheel. Do you know one thing? And I want to tell you now one thing, that 2-week feeling that you experience during that vacation, that could be forever. That could be your daily feeling forever if you just keep moving. And yes, of course, sometimes you pause. And if you pause, like we are pausing now in Phuket for a couple of months, we are moving around in Phuket. We are discovering new islands. We are discovering new festivals. We're discovering new parties. We're discovering new restaurants. We are meeting new friends. We keep moving forward. I keep developing new companies like Didi AI, the new app. You just saw what we have built already. The moment you keep moving forward, you will stay in balance and you will become more happy. If you stop moving, you will fall. And that is not what you want. So please understand that that 2-week holiday that you're all celebrating, or that 2-week Christmas holiday that's coming up, is not something that is exclusive, limited to those 2 weeks. You could be living that life every time, again and again and again. You could feel that holiday feeling all the time. The moment you cut yourself free from that hamster wheel, the moment you start to realize that your skills, all your qualities, or your wife skills, or your wife qualities are not limited and usable in one certain spot. Disconnect from that spot. We are living in different times than we were in the 80s, in the 70s, and the 90s, where you needed to be in a fixed spot to have an income. You need to stay in the safety zone of a hamster wheel to be providing for your family. That's so fucking old school all time. There is millions of opportunities online to be providing an income for your whole family. Even if you just take your capital that you built in the last 2 decades because of owning a house, because of creating an overvalue, take it, make that capital work for you, start to move in that direction that will make you happy. And I know there's a lot of difficulties in this, you know, with the kids, and maybe the wife doesn't want, and maybe this, but take baby steps. Try it for 3 months. 3 months. Like, take a leave for 3 months at your hamster wheel job, and 3 months start to discover the world, and check what the energy inside of you will do with you. Check the happiness of your family during those 3 months, and then you will understand the difference between that life and that 3 months happiness life, and then you will start to search for some solutions and possibilities to keep living that life. That's exactly how we did it. That was the inspirational quote for today, guys. Keep moving, don't stand still. I hope you had an amazing week. I'm going to wish you an amazing weekend. I will do a live AMA this weekend. I really promise it, because of course it's Halloween. Tonight we have Halloween party. Tomorrow another Halloween party. I will try not to drink and party too much so I can still do a live AMA. But during that live AMA, I'm going to check what the market is doing in the weekend, as I expect a very volatile market this weekend. So please be aware of that, guys. Now, thank you for watching. Give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends and family, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. What do you think about the charts? What do you think about the news? What do you think about the inspirational quote? Thank you. Bam.